So the big question tonight is it safe to travel for green card holders, permanent residents under the Trump administration? It depends on the specific policies and actions in place at the time of travel. However, during Donald Trump's presidency 2017 to 2021, there were several immigration-related changes that could potentially impact green card holders to travel. Below are some important factors to consider. Executive orders and travel bans. Under the Trump administration, there were several executive orders related to travel and immigration, including travel bans, targeting citizens from certain countries, often referred to as the Muslim ban. These travel restrictions were applied to certain countries and sometimes resulted in confusion for travelers, including green card holders. Now, what is the impact? Impact on green card holders. Initially, the travel bans didn't specifically target permanent residents, but there were instances where green card holders were detained, questioned, or denied entry upon re-entry to the US, especially if they were from countries subject to the travel ban. Changes over time. The travel ban was revised multiple times during Trump's presidency and was eventually replaced with country-specific restrictions. It was important for green card holders from affected countries to stay updated on the status of these restrictions. Enhanced border security. Now, under Trump, the US also saw an increase in border enforcement and scrutiny of travelers entering the country, including green card holders. So immigration officers were given broader discretion in questioning travelers and reviewing documents, and there were more thorough inspections at ports of entry, which is very important to ensure that the country is safe. Now, impact on green card holders. Some green card holders reported increased delays, questioning, and even temporary detainment at airports, particularly if they were from countries that were under heightened scrutiny. Travel restrictions and impact on green card holders. If traveling to specific countries, green card holders from countries that were under US restrictions, such as those listed in the travel bans, could have faced more scrutiny and could have been denied re-entry, even if they were. So we need to look at this. Even if they were lawful permanent residents. For example, if a green card holder from a banned country traveled to that country or had been living there for extended periods, they could face difficulties returning to the US. Re-entry after prolonged stays abroad. Green card holders who remained outside the US for extended periods, more than a year, were at risk of losing their permanent resident status, as the US government views a long absence as evidence that the person may have abandoned their US residency. So if you are a green card holder also, you need to know what is the maximum time that you are allowed to stay out of the US, especially when you are still a green card holder. So these are very important things. But then we are saying we are only giving advisory information that for you to know what you're supposed to do well, get in touch with the attorneys in charge of who are in charge of migration so that you are well updated, so that you know what you're supposed to do as a green card holder. Visa issuances and travel during the pandemic. During the Trump administration, the COVID-19 pandemic brought about additional travel restrictions, which included temporary bans on non-citizens and non-residents entering the USA. Additionally, the US suspended the issuance of some types of visas, which could indirectly impact green card holders who were traveling with family members or had pending visa petitions. So this also happened during the COVID-19 pandemic, but now most of them have been lifted up since the pandemic was over. So general travel recommendation for green card holders under Trump: always check updates, be up to date with the given information. Given that the rules changed frequently, it was essential for green card holders to regularly check the US Department of State and US Citizenship and Immigration Services website for updates on any travel advisories or restrictions that may affect them. So even now, anyone, you have to ensure that you are kept up to date with the changing information, with what is expected, with what you're supposed to do at any time, as long as you are within the USA, so that you are not affected. Document all travel. Green card holders should keep a record of all international travel, including flight details and travel history. This could be useful when re-entering the United States to show intent to return and maintain permanent residency. So ensure that your documents are always up to date and they are easily accessible, especially when you're traveling at the border, whether you're going out or when you're coming in. Legal advice. If there were concerns about travel under the Trump administration, it was often advisable to consult with the immigration lawyer to ensure compliance with all rules and regulations. Just like any country, if this is your second citizenship, it is not your first citizenship, then we are saying that whenever you're traveling, always seek out for legal advice in order for you to know what is it that is expected for you as a citizen of that country. And the best way is always to consult with an immigration lawyer or an attorney to ensure that all rules and regulations are followed, so that you don't find yourself maybe breaking the rules or going against the set rules. While green card holders technically have the right to travel freely, there were additional challenges and heightened scrutiny during this administration, particularly in relation to travel bans, enhanced border enforcement, and immigration policies. Green card holders needed to stay informed about evolving policies to ensure their safety and stability to re-enter the US after traveling abroad. If you are planning to travel abroad, always a good idea to check the latest travel advisories and consult with an immigration attorney. If you have any concerns or specific questions regarding your situation, ensure you consult an immigration attorney or lawyer to ensure that you are always on the safe side of the law. Don't go against the law just because you want to travel, and while you are traveling, you've not updated yourself with what is going on as far as traveling outside the US is concerned, especially for people who are within the United States on visas. Whichever type of visa, remember that the green card is also a type of visa. So anyone within the US and you're planning to travel outside the country, you've got to ensure that you are updated with all the requirements of the law, so that as you travel outside and you plan to re-enter the country, you will come in without any restrictions, because you followed all the regulations and all the required rules and laws pertaining to a specific visa. Thank you.